As Home to Mayo comes to a close with an afternoon of music, cookery demonstrations and local enterprise took place here in the Market Square. We also hear how Ballina and North Mayo region is gearing up for a busy tourist season with many events and festivals planned, including the world-famous Ballina Salmon Festival. And we also look at plans for the town's 300th anniversary celebrations planned for 2023.
So we launched this very recently and it's actually false advertising because there were 54 things to do listed on this, and I suppose what it goes through, Henry, is all of the various activities and things there are for people to do when they're visiting here. So this really lists a lot of the walks, a lot of the visitor attractions in the area, a lot of the outdoor activities you can take part in, whether it's running, walking, snorkeling, diving, swimming, you name it, surfing, stand-up paddleboarding. There's an awful lot of things for people to try when they visit here that they might not have done elsewhere, and they're set against this fabulous backdrop we have here, whether it's on the river here in Ballina or whether it's out in out along the coastline in North Mayo or down across the border in West Sligo and Enniscrone as well.
And there's a whole list of places you can go to if you want to improve your health, mind and soul and body.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you go on holidays, it really is about switching off and getting away from your screens and having your downtime and spending it with your family. So there are things here to do, whether it's yoga, whether it's getting out into the sea and sea swimming, massage therapy, all of those kind of things. So they're all listed on this as well. And then, of course, obviously, I haven't talked about our festivals and events. We have a full festival programme this year as well. Ballina Salmon Festival is returning in July after a 2-year break, so we're all really, really excited about that. Cross Ballina Festival, Enniscrone Festival, Ballina Fringe Festival is happening in October.
So if people want to get more information, Anne-Marie, about Mayo North, and what should they do?
Yeah, I'd say go online to our website, which is www.mayonorth.ie, or follow us on any of our social media channels. We're on 6 social media channels at Mayo North. You'll find us, just search for Mayo North.
And finally, what's the most exciting project you'll be looking forward to this summer?
Oh, well, I think for us, actually, the most exciting project we have in store is Ballina 2023, which is a year-long celebration we're planning for the town for next year. So really watch this space. There's going to be some fantastic events as part of that. So that's what we're all really excited about in Ballina at the moment. And I think it'll really benefit all in North Mayo as well.
We're celebrating in 2023 300 years since the formal establishment of Ballina town. Now, we all know Ballina is a lot older than that, but that's when the town charter was officially, I suppose, signed. And it's an important date in the calendar. It's an important time for Ballina to reflect on the history of the place, and then I suppose to plan and think about the future and have a year-long celebration. I suppose to give you an overview, it's going to be right across the spectrum. There'll be sporting events, there'll be cultural events, kind of arts and music events. We're going to try and make sure that there's stuff spread out right throughout the year. There's going to be a focus on young people, so we're going to try and focus on engaging young people in the project. A lot of work is going on right now to kind of put the building blocks in place for that. So we're going to try and actively involve young people from Ballina in the year of celebrations. There'll obviously be lots of things that people will maybe plan their holidays around, and there'll be a lot of events on. Obviously, we've got the Salmon Festival in July, which we're going to try and add to, and there'll be other things during the year as well. So there'll be a lot of events going on throughout the year that'll be well worth people, I suppose, planning holidays or planning little mini breaks around, because there'll be lots of activity in Ballina throughout the year.
Will President Joe Biden make it over for the 300 celebrations?
Well, he certainly has been invited, and there is a lot of talk about the fact that he might come at some point, and we've put it we've sent a very, I suppose, direct invitation to him, and we'd be really hopeful that he does. I mean, I know he's so proud of his Ballina history, and he's a really great advocate for the place, and he kind of really wears it on his sleeve. So we'd be hopeful that at some point throughout the year that he'll make the trip over, because he's a famous Ballina son, and he'll certainly be welcomed.
Well, I'm joined by award-winning chef Ronan Fox. Congratulations anyway, because you've picked up a couple of awards here recently the last few years.
Yeah, we've been very lucky with the team at Mayo General to pick up the best healthcare caterer in Ireland. So it's been very lucky, and it's down to the team that we work with. We've had a couple of challenging years since 2019, 2020 last year, and having the team having been out again here today, saying hello to people cooking, it's really exciting. It's good to get out,
And of course, you've been very modest. You're also Chef of the Year as well.
Listen, it's. I think once you have a good team working with you, and I have a very strong team, so it's only down to them, I suppose, that it's you can be successful, down to those that you work with.
Now, so what are you planning for today, Ronan?
So today we're talking about plant-based nutrition, and I
People
suppose
have a misconception about that as well, don't they?
they do. Yeah, they don't. I think there's a lot of different diets that come in under that heading, and today we're just going to go through that. I'm going to ask people what is their understanding, what do they understand by it. You can have it as a vegan, vegetarian. You can have it as a Mediterranean, which means lower intake of meat. You can have it as a pescatarian or vegetarian. There's lots of different. So it's sort of getting a definition for today. And the benefits, why is it good for you? What is it good for you? It's good for cardiovascular, good for diabetes, good for blood pressure, good for your weight loss, obesity. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at, that's the benefits, the barriers. Why don't we like it? It's not cultural, it's not something we're used to. We're used to meat and potatoes and vegetables.
What's your own favourite dish?
My own favourite is actually, for me it's flavour combination, and it's about, if you take a herb or, there's nice fennel, dill, and you take a little bit of fenugreek, so these two here, so they're like two different, but you put them together, and together, simply they're fine, but together when you smell them,
oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's flavor combinations for me is the key. So when you have two flavors working together that give you something that's you're familiar with, but it's new, and you want to eat it. That's for me the key, and that's my favorite.
6 years now we're in Ballina in the location of the old Duffy's Bakery. We've taken it from strength to strength. We're expanding. We're hoping to take on more staff in the near future. We're very delighted with Ballina. Ballina have been very good to us.
And how many have you employed at the moment?
We have 11 employed at the moment, and we're looking to increase that dramatically over the next 2 years.
Yeah, there's another big investment program coming into the company.
There is. Yeah, well, we're always expanding. This year now we've come out with our first whiskey, first Mayo whiskey in 150 years. Yep. Yeah. This is our baby now.
Yeah.
This is our pride and glory that's taken us the 6 years to come up. Obviously, with whiskey, it takes a while. You can't just put whiskey into a bottle.
Yeah.
So 3 years in an ex-bourbon cask and a year in an Oloroso sherry cask. And we are so delighted with it. In January, we won gold for the Irish Whiskey Association for the best newcomer. And there recently, in the San Francisco Awards, which are international awards, we won double gold.
Well, we wish you continued success. It's a great story for not just Mayo, but for the west of Ireland as well.
Definitely. We're very proud to be located here. Our founders, Tom Jensen and PJ Stapleton, they're both based in America. They've both been over recently. They're very, very pleased with the direction that the company is going in and the growth that we're featuring at the moment and where we want to be in a couple of years' time.
Brilliant.
But most of all, we really want to be part of the community.
Yes, yeah, and you're very much in because everybody in Ballina knows about Connacht whiskey.
Yes,
There's no
yes.
question about that. And no doubt you'll be at the famous Salmon Festival as well.
Oh, definitely. We have our stall ready
great.
and raring to go.
Well, we look forward to meeting you there as well.
Lovely. Henry, thank you so much for taking your time out to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Ireland is still behind the rest or a lot of the world in terms of craft beer. There are basically there are two or three very dominant big breweries in Ireland, and I think we stand at around about 5% craft beer at the moment, which is, as I say, we need. That's America now is about 12 to 14%. So we're hoping that we'll get there. Yes.
And what about plans for the future now for the real deal?
Plans for the future. We have a few interesting projects on. We have you'll know Ennisco House well. Anya down there is growing us some organic hops. So we hops are always harvested in September. So we're hoping last week in September we'll be able to nip down to Ennisco House, harvest some hops straight off the vine and straight into the brew, as fresh as you get.
One thing I haven't seen as well, I noticed is the cans of.
Yeah, we started canning.
Very handy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. it's we have our own bottling line.
Yes.
So to do the cans, we have to get a mobile. There are two companies now, both very successful, running mobile canning lines around the craft breweries of Ireland. If you're going for a picnic, the can's perfect. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the can is perfect.
And it's easy to send out as well, the package you send it off.
Yeah. For people shipping online, DPD do a much better job of delivering a case of cans whole than a case of bottles. Yes.
Well, look, at continued success with it. And,
thank you.
And it's good to see the new products coming on.
Thank you very much.
If the winter doesn't kill us, that whole world surely will. We need miracles coming when light is bright.
Now, I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but you're going to be president next year as well for when the town celebrates its 300th anniversary.
That's right.
I can imagine that's going to be a hectic year
Huge.
for you.
And obviously, as you know yourself, there is a great Ballina 2023 committee in place at the moment with project manager Lisa Hanlon there in place. They have a huge lineup of events already planned. Obviously, given that it's such a big event for next year, they have to be have everything ready and set to go from next year. So there's loads of different events happening during 2023 which will all be announced during the course of the year, but really looking forward to be involved in that and that the Chamber has an input into it as well. We have our own part that we will be running on it, so it's great to have the opportunity to be involved in such big celebrations there.
Any particular project that you would like to see happen in your term as president?
Well, I suppose for me, when I took over, it was all about getting businesses back networking, getting back out there, talking to each other. We were so used to being behind cameras and keyboards over the previous 2 years. So I think it's important to me that we get back out there, even one-to-one chats. It was great to see at our networking event in the Great National Hotel, people stayed around chatting to each other. They weren't afraid to go up talking to each other, introducing themselves, getting to know what businesses are there. So I think it's very important locally that we're very aware of what businesses are out there and how we can support each other. So I'd like to continue with our networking events, and hopefully by the end of the 2 years that we'd have a good network of businesses going again in the Chamber.
Ballina Community Cleanup is a group of volunteers that came together about 4 years ago now initially to try and tidy up the town. The initial work was all around litter collection, and every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock a band of merry men led by our chairman Paddy O'Hora, and women I suppose, led by our chairman Paddy O'Hora, pick up litter at various points around the town. But that has evolved into a number of other projects. The next big one, I suppose, was Paint and Derelicts, which was led by Martin Tavani, which this involved in collaboration with the property owners and the council, I suppose, painting a number of tired properties around the town and freshening them up.
So you're also involved in the cleanup group in that, but from a different perspective then. You thought it was worth applying for Pride of Place Award. So what's the process involved now? Why did you decide to do that?
I think with our own Lions Club winning it last year, I think it's fantastic that we've won it for a second year in a row and build a momentum within the town. I think it's great that we've won an award that really recognises the pride that we all have in the town. So to win it has been absolutely fantastic. The process of the whole competition from start to finish was super enjoyable. It takes a while, doesn't it? It takes a long time, but you know what? The work was already done. So it was really just about pausing and reflecting and pulling together everything that we had already achieved. So,
And what did it mean for you and for your group as well to win this?
I mean, to win it, we were absolutely over the moon. And again, the second year in the row to win it for the town has been absolutely exceptional. I think we're just recognising the work and, you know, that the group has put in together. I think it means so much to us. I think it's definitely given us a boost. And it has, you know, driven us on to want to do more for the town.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
especially coming into the 300-year celebrations for the town as well.
absolutely, yeah. So it really kind of builds momentum around that. So it's fantastic. We're super excited about it.
Great.
It's happening in July. The launch is on the 25th, which is Saturday, and that's up in the park in Ballina. And then after that, then it's the 10th until the 16th of July. Yeah.
And one of the highlights has always been the Heritage Day. I presume that's going to play a major part in the festival.
Oh, it's a major part. It's on the 13th this year on Wednesday, and it's huge. Everybody's really excited, and they're bringing it back to the original idea of having purely heritage, where they're really encouraging people to dress up in costumes. You can hire a costume from the costume hire place in Ballina, and it's only €10 for the day. So really help everybody get into be part of it, enthusiastic about it.
What other highlights are you planning for the festival? So give an idea to people to taste what to look forward to.
Sure. Well, we're starting off on the Sunday with a teddy bears picnic, which is totally inclusive, really encouraging the families to come in. It's full of children's activities. So that's on the Monday. Then there's Heritage Day. There's also busking throughout the week, so which is on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, and then there's a competition then on Friday. So that's another big part of all. So musicians from all around Ireland are competing in that, and it gives a great sense of atmosphere in the town.
And of course, there's some great favourite events that people always look forward to every year at the festival.
Absolutely. There's a Pierce Street Festival, which is brilliant, and they have Mardi Gras at that, and they have fireworks, so everybody really looks forward to that. That's on the Saturday night in the Pierce Street.
And it's all about the Salmon Festival, and here we are on the River Moy, and to see all these wonderful fishermen out there looking for, hopefully they get to catch a salmon today.
Oh, absolutely. The salmon fishing within Ballina has always been the heart of the community, and it's really been a reason why a lot of people come here. As you can see the Jack Charlton mural, because he was one of the most famous fishermen we had here. So yeah, and it continues to flourish and continues to be a big part of the community.
So I suppose with the Fringe Festival, we decided to concentrate on particular art forms from the outset. So visual art has always been a really important part of the festival programme. In the past, we've had exhibitions with artists like Mick O'Gee, Donald Teskey, Vivian Dick, so all, I suppose, big name, high profile artists. The street art, the Pure Ballina project is a big part of it as well. This is the fourth year of the Pure Ballina project. It's a 5-year plan we have for that part, and already you can see the beautiful artworks around the town. And I think of all of the things we've done, the street art Pure Ballina has probably had the biggest impact for people, because you can't get away from it. You've got these massive paintings on walls around the town. Music has been a big part. We've got some great music lined up this year. The programme hasn't been announced yet, but I can give you the exclusive.
Well, thank you.
We'll be delighted to welcome Lisa Hannigan back to Ballina. Lisa played here about 12 years ago. We will also be having the Irish Chamber Orchestra. So there are two really special things. We'll also be having a concert by Tony Reedy, closer to home. So there are some of the things. There will also be theatre workshops. We will have Monachon Magan with his Arán Agus M show.
And just what are the dates for the festival, Sean?
The festival starts on the 8th and runs until the 16th of October, I think.
So plenty to look forward to then in this coming autumn.
Definitely. We'll be announcing details of the programme in a few weeks' time, once we have everything tied down 100%. And then it'll be full steam ahead to October.
Well, we wish you well with it.
Thanks a lot, Henry.
Ballina and the area all around Ballina has a lot of tourism potential. Every year we get lots and lots of tourists. I mean, the River Moy runs through Ballina. Ballina is known as the salmon capital of Ireland. So that attracts in a lot of anglers and family members as well. But as well as that, there's a lot of other interest in the whole area. We have the whole Moy estuary, which people are using for boating more and more so. Extends out to the heritage town of Killala, and then further north into the Cage of Fields, John Patrick Head, all that area. Also then Lough Conn and Cross Ballina comes into the area where it gets a lot of visitors as well. So we're very conscious of tourism in this area. We work closely with the Chamber of Commerce, with Mayo North Tourism, and with then lots of the other individual projects around the area. And even in the town we've got the Jackie Clark collection, which attracts a lot of visitors into town who are interested in the whole politics and the whole collection that they have there. And coming on stream in the next 6 months or so, we'll have the Mary Robinson Centre, which is the first library of a president in Ireland. So there's a lot happening in the area, a lot of potential, and we really need to work closely with the businesses and we help them out in any way we can. Mayo County Council is very involved and supportive of the whole project. It'll be starting off literally on the 1st of January with the whole ceremony to introduce the year, and there are events being planned right throughout the whole year. Some of them will be new once-off events for the year itself, and some will be linking in with existing projects in the town, whether it be the Salmon Festival, whether it be the arts projects that go on, whether a lot of the music and songs that go on. We're also having the Connacht Flacchiole here in early July 2023 because of that year. So there's many events, and we'll certainly be encouraging everybody to come to Ballina throughout the whole year, not just the summer months.
Home to Mayo, where life began for all of us, where life is lived with little fuss, where roots are planted deep and firm, where bonds are strong and welcomes warm, where the world begins and Europe ends, where the moon shines bright and the sun descends, where dreams are made on the football field, where rest is found and wounds are healed, where the rivers sigh a mournful croon and kiss goodnight the sleeping moon, where air pure fresh fills blowing breeze, carried by Atlantic seas, where the crack is good and people sound, and the heather shimmers on boggy ground, where hearts are full and faith is strong, where you can be sure that you belong, where the sea crashes against rocky cliff in a thunderous operatic riff, where sheep sit lazy on summer lane, listening to nature's sweet refrain, where turf is cut and saved and burned, where loves are found and lessons learned, where pilgrims climb the rocky reek, redemption and salvation to seek. Home calls to you like a bell in a steeple. Home is the place where you meet your people. Home is the place where families gather, sister, brother, mother, father. Home is where your memories are found. Home is special, sacred ground. Home is where there'll always be a welcoming smile and a cup of tea. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the hearth is. Home is where the feeling is. Home is where the healing is. Home is a beacon to immigrants who roam. Home is home and always home.